This is something. I don't know if this is just a sign I need to work out more or what, but this is exhausting. Alright, so today I'm going to be putting to the test 2 different brow stencil products. One is High End by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the other is from Amazon. If there is one thing in life I despise doing more than folding laundry, it is brows. I love the way a nice brow looks. I can appreciate brows. I just do not like doing them on myself. I feel like it's one of the most frustrating things with makeup. I go through brow phases where I feel like my brows look really good, and then I go through phases where I just can't get the shape right, or like one is totally different than the other, which I feel like happens to a lot of people. I'm definitely not perfect at brows, which is why I want to try stencils. There's hope for the brow haters of the internet. So in one of my recent videos, I was talking about how much I hate brows. What's new? Stephanie Nicole on YouTube commented and told me that I needed to try these out. So when Stephanie tells me I need something, I buy it. Absolutely love her videos. She does like top-notch reviews. If you haven't checked her out, I'm gonna link her down below. So that's kind of where this video idea started from, and then I was like, you know what, let's try and see if we can find dupes for them, since this is a little bit pricey for a stencil. So I'm doing a full-on trying these guys on without foundation, trying them on with foundation, comparing them, so you guys will see how they work and if one is better than the other. If you have never heard of or seen brow stencils, they're basically exactly what they sound like. They're stencils that you put on your face and then you fill in your brows, and supposedly they give you, you know, a shape, and you don't have to like freehand it. So this Anastasia kit, you get 5 different stencil shapes in here, and it retails for $20. So $4 a stencil. Pretty pricey. I really like the packaging on here. It's very slim, very classy. On the other hand, Amazon, you get a little plastic bag. I'm going to be linking both of these down below, but the Amazon one by the brand Nulux. And it retails for $7.99 free shipping. You get 24 different stencils in here. If you break that down, price per stencil, it's about 33 cents per stencil. So 33 cents, $4. 24 in here, you obviously get a lot more options than just having 5 shapes. I did see that they have these exact ones on Walmart for $5.98. I don't think you get free shipping on there. So with the shipping, it might end up being more than the Amazon price. So if you're excited for this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into the application and see how they go. All right, so I have eye makeup on, clearly, but I don't have any brow products on right now, and I just have concealer on my face, since I have a feeling we're gonna be like wiping off the brows and trying a few. Those of you who don't know, I do have microbladed brows. I have a whole video on it, which I love. When I'm not wearing a full face of makeup, which hasn't been super frequently lately, I'll just put on concealer like this and call it a day. So when I don't have foundation kind of covering them up, it's really nice to just have microbladed brows on if you're someone who does not want to mess with brows on a daily basis. But since it is just pigment, there's not actual hair there, when I put on my foundation, a lot of times it can kind of cover up my brow. So that's usually why I go back in with the product, still add a little bit of shape. So I think what I'm going to do is play around with the different shapes to figure out which one I want while I have a bare face on, so I can kind of wipe them off. And then once I have one, I'll put on my foundation so it kind of covers up my brows a little bit more, and we can actually put on the shape. I know I can technically go in with makeup remover to get the foundation off my brows, and then I'll have permanent brows on, but I still like to add a little bit of product. It's just what I like to do. So since there are only 5 options in the Anastasia kit, I think I'm gonna go in with this first to try and find a shape I like, and then kind of match it to the Amazon ones. First we have the Petite Arch. Oh, wait. Oh, just flip it. Too early. Okay, this looks exactly like my brow shape. Like, it's literally lining up to be exactly my brow. On the little stencil, they have it marked. Let me try the medium arch. And these feel pretty nice quality plastic. You can bend them, they're not gonna like snap in half or anything, which is good because when you're putting it against your face, you do need to kind of curve it to your face. Medium arch over here. Ooh. Whoa, that one goes out pretty far on my face. Tail ends right where my pointer finger is, right here. But it looks like it's gonna add a little bit more. I kind of want to try that one. Contenders are Petite Arch and Medium Arch so far. Let's try High Arch. So this one is definitely large and in charge. Like, it's adding quite a bit to the top of my brow. Whoa, just kidding. This guy is large and in charge. My face, I definitely could not pull off full arch. That's like adding a second brow to my brow. But if you're someone who likes bigger brows, or you have kind of like a bigger face shape, that one might work for you. Out of the Anastasia ones, the 2 that I would go in with are either Petite Arch or Medium Arch, depending on what kind of brow I wanted. Again, Petite Arch is like exactly my brow shape. Before we go in with the Amazon one, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It would be cool if there was kind of like a sticky thing so it could just stick to your face while you're putting it on. The actual brow product I'm gonna be using is the MAC Past Twilight Fluidline. This is what I've been using the past, I would say like month now. Super similar to Anastasia Dip Brow. Ardell makes a good brow pomade that's from the drugstore. Just a gel product, technically not for your brows, but I love it for my brows. And then the brush I use is the Inglot 31T angled brush. We are doing this brow time. I'm trying to kind of line this up to where I already have my brow on. So I have it starting right where my brow already starts. It looks like it's gonna add quite a bit to the top here and then also down here. And the tail. Like, we're gonna have a very intense tail. This is the medium arch. Can you stay in my shirt, bruh? Thanks. Kind of an awkward angle. Okay, so I'm gonna start down here so that most pigment is in the center of my brow. I feel like I'm coloring right now. Okay, my left arm holding this thing up is already sore. So you get an arm workout and a brow stencil. 2 in 1. Okay, wait, why is there a little, am I supposed to pop that out? There's like a little piece of plastic right in the middle. On all the stencils on these, there's a little piece of plastic. So, okay, I guess you just have to go back in and fill that in afterwards once you take the stencil off. Is that plastic or am I supposed to be down there? I'm supposed to be in there. Well, I guess I'll bring this all the way down. Where does this stop? This is hard to see. My left arm is like about to fall off. Oh man, this tail is gonna be intense. You have to be careful not to let it slide down while you're doing this and like hold it in shape or else your brow's gonna be kind of funky. So now I'm gonna go in lightly just in the front and kind of feather it up. I think I have it on where I need to have it on. My arm is so sore. I'm gonna take this off. That's actually a lot better than I was thinking this was gonna turn out. Still need to fill in certain parts, like especially where that weird piece of plastic is right in the center. But it definitely helped. You can see where I drew on the plastic, like that would have been on my face. I'm just gonna go in and follow that line a little bit. Cool because it also kind of gives you a guide, so like I can see exactly where I need to fill in now. The tail is definitely funky. Like the tail is way too long for my face shape and also too thick. They don't give you a full-on point. It's kind of like a curved tail, which I'm not a fan of. When I actually do my brows, I'm gonna go in with concealer to clean it up. I just want to show you guys the general shape so we can decide which one to go with. I'm not going to try the Petite Arch because it looks exactly like my brow shape. So let's try out these Amazon guys. I have 24 options. That's a lot of brow options. Cool, didn't need that. I almost feel like with this one, as I'm looking at it more, I would use it for the front part and then just do the tail on my own. I don't even know where to start. This is slightly overwhelming. I'm just gonna go like process of elimination, just looking at them, the ones I know I definitely won't want. This looks like a fucked up tadpole. Probably gonna be hard for you guys to see, but what the heck is going on here? G2 is a no. What the heck is this one? This one is like big in all of the wrong places. The tail is huge. That's a no. This is A3. Plastic on these is definitely crappier quality. You can see how bendy these are. Like I feel like I could bend this in half. They definitely aren't cut as precise. And all of the ones I've looked at so far, it's not like a smooth cut. It has like a weird bumps. I'm gonna put that one on the side. That's H2. That's a contender. C2, it's just a straight line. F2 is just straight up effed up. What? You guys got to see this one. Oh wait. B2 might be even better. What is that? B2 looks like a twig you would find in your yard. This is exactly what I want the front of my brow to look like. H1 is like if you want the front of your brow to come down to your nose. F1 is for those who have a 90s brow still going on. E1 messed up. D1 is very archy. Here's what D1 looks like. Again, still bumpy in some weird places. F3 looks kind of similar to the Petite Arch. So this one actually lines up perfectly to my brow. Let's see how similar this is to the Anastasia Petite Arch. So this is really hard to show on camera since these are freaking clear pieces of plastic, but it lines up pretty closely. The Amazon one goes down a little bit further on the tail. The front is just kind of oddly shaped. For the most part, this is probably the most similar you'll find to the Petite Arch. That's F3. D3 is very similar to my eyebrow shape right now as well. And then this last one is again like a hot dog brow. So out of all 24 of those, I think there are 3 possible that could work. F3, H2, and D3. Kind of want to try H2. So there's a line in the front on both, which you're supposed to line up with the inner corner of your eye. The Anastasia one does have 3 kind of guidelines, and the Amazon one only has 1. So you kind of just have to figure shit out on your own with the Amazon one as far as like how to hold it and where to angle it. I guess I should have explained this. This one you're supposed to basically line up the front so that it follows your inner corner, that line. And then the last line right here, if you take something straight, it should basically line up with the corner of your nose. So if you do a diagonal line, that's the line that you'd want to follow. So if you really need help drawing on your brows, it probably is easier to have the 3 guidelines. Let's go to town. Hopefully my arm will survive. This one I do feel like you have to hold more. Like you really got to get the bottom and the top at the same time. I need like a 3rd arm right now because the plastic just wants to go up. So again, I'm going to start in the center just to concentrate most of the product there. I can already tell this tail is gonna be interesting. I don't know if this is just a sign I need to work out more or what, but this is exhausting. This one is definitely harder. You really have to push it against your face, and it's kind of like sliding around. This is something. Let's try a different angle. I can't even see. Since doing the tail has already moved, so it's really hard to keep this one in the same place. We're timed. Oh. Again, not as bad as I thought when I was putting it on. I almost like the arch and the shape overall better on this one, even though it was way harder to actually apply. The tail needs some work. Also curious to see how putting these on top of foundation will work. I feel like this is gonna like rub off some of my foundation because you really have to like hold it against your skin and push it there. Right, I have black stuff all over my hand from my temporary root spray stuff. I am leaving my house after this video, so I can't just do like one brow on each with the foundation on. So I think I'm actually gonna do the Amazon one just because I like the shape of this one a little bit better. All right, so my foundation's on. I do have a little bit of self-tanner still left over on right now. So I used the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD foundation, the shade Porcelain, which is normally too dark. Did my under eye concealer, powder, everything. So let's go in to test out the brows. So as you can see, when I put my foundation on, it does cover up some of my brows, especially like on the top here where I blend foundation over. Again, there are ways to avoid that. I would just rather go back in with brow product. But it's good because now I feel like we'll really be able to see how it does the shape. So it was H2. I'm assuming you want to wipe these off in between uses just so you don't get any of that product on your face that's on the stencil. Hopefully this isn't an utter disaster because I need to be out of my house in like an hour. I feel like this is gonna totally rub off my foundation. Ooh, I don't like this. So I'm just gonna do the first portion and try and not press super hard so it doesn't rub off my foundation. Kinda hard not to though because you have to line it up against your skin so you're not going under the stencil. I'm gonna leave the tail portion because it is like going places that my tail on my real brow is not going. I'm gonna take this thing off. Foundation definitely came off on the brow stencil a little bit. I'm gonna need to touch that up with concealer, but it doesn't look horrible, like it didn't totally rub off my foundation. It gave me a nice little shape, but I need to clean that up because my tail's like going up here. And then I'm just gonna have to freestyle the tail. Not bad at all. I actually really like the way that that looks now that I did my own tail. I can't tell if this is like more stressful or less stressful than just freestyling your own brow. Okay, and also now I really gotta line up my brows to make sure that these are gonna look semi-even. Ooh, this is kind of hard. Okay. This takes way too much concentration to talk at the same time. I feel like that one did not turn out as well. Probably the side and angle, depending on if you're a righty or a lefty, also influences it. Being a righty, this eye is probably going to be easier for me than going this way and going right against the stencil, if that makes sense. That one definitely doesn't look as good. I think I have the shape even enough to where I can go in with concealer now to carve them out, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so the rest of my makeup's on. I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts. Super quick so you guys know. Milani Matte Naked Lipstick. I added Tarte Party Blush, Essence Be My Highlight, and then my contour is this stack, which is from Amazon. I did a full video testing weird Amazon products. And then my eyes, which I already had on, obviously, was the BH Cosmetics Essential Eyes 28 Color Eyeshadow Palette. So everything on my face will be linked down below like always. So my thoughts on the brow stencils. The more I've had them on, and as I was like doing the rest of my makeup, I did a couple snaps, took a few photos. They look really good. I do feel like they look better than normal. Okay, this one's definitely higher, now that I'm looking at it. Or maybe, is my face tilted? I can't tell. But I think as far as the actual shape, they do look better. I don't know. You guys are the brow experts. Let me know what you think down below. Do these look better than my normal brows? Do they look worse? If you're going for quality, I would say the Anastasia ones because it is much nicer. You get the better material, you get the lines. If you're trying these out for fun and you just want to spend a few dollars on it, I think it could be worth trying out the Amazon ones. I do want to reiterate that there are a lot of completely messed up brow shapes on here. I think out of all 24, there's maybe like 3 or 4 that actually look decent and don't have weird like wobbly lines on them. But either way, it is kind of more like a guide and you'll probably still have to go in and fill it in a little bit more after you take it off your face. So I think both the Anastasia and the Amazon could work depending on what you're looking for. Would I use these on a daily basis? I don't know. We'll see. I do like how my brows look right now. I think if I got the hang of it and could like make them look more symmetrical, I might really like using these. I don't like how it kind of takes off my foundation. Of course, you could apply these before your foundation, but I personally hate blending foundation around eyebrows. That's why I never do my brows first. Obviously, the Amazon ones were workable, so I don't think these are a total thumbs down or anything. They definitely have their downsides, but if you're willing to make them work, they can work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if there are any other Amazon products you guys want me to try out. If you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Foundation Friday, every single Friday. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.